Nice, nice. Yeah, man, we're off to a start. Welcome to Whatchu Drinkin, Sam. How you doing?
What's up, buddy? What's up, Alan?
Not much, man. So first off, what you drinking?
It's pretty expensive. I had to go pretty far to get it.
Hey, man, I do that. I do that a lot. I prefer the bottles, but uh,
Yeah, I wanted the bottles, but I got to get.
you
I was
can't
going
shotgun a
for,
bottle.
well, I was going for like, more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I do with my PBR.
I was like 2012 or six. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm drinking a Beta Amber Lager. It's
Okay,
it's
is
pretty
that
decent.
like IPA?
No, it's just amber. I actually don't like IPAs, and I wish I did because there's like a
Well,
hundred different good
then
ones.
we relate. I'll drink
Yeah,
some there, and I won't complain too much. Or it won't be in my cart.
right. Like one of them. They're too hoppy, man, for me.
I don't even like beer that much. I actually drink,
Really?
yeah, twisted teas or mixture.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
That's cool,
Like
man. So,
I'm gonna hang out with the bartender, so I better drink some beer then.
uh, hey, a lot of times if we're busy, bartenders are way more happy if you order a beer because we don't want to make a five ingredient martini.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, okay. Yeah, just bring the bucket of ice and beer. Yeah, hey, there you go.
Absolutely.
$48. Thank you.
uh, yeah. You pay me.
It's 48.
Oh man. So let's let everybody know how I heard of you. You
Yeah,
are somewhat of a skateboarding social media influencer now, right?
I guess that's what happened. Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, I found you through a Facebook group,
Hmm.
um, and then I reached out in a kind of in a funny way. I think I tagged you, and one of your friends relayed the message.
Yeah, like, and then he's like, okay, and I was like, all right, let's see what's going on.
Let's
But I really,
roll.
yeah. I'm like, okay, let's fun. Cheers. Let's do it.
Yeah, man, it's a good time. That's what we're here for. And something I haven't explained, I might as well do it now. Um, I've explained it via just like typing in a post, but the inspiration for this show was I am a bartender and I meet a lot of really interesting people from all walks of life, just like the description of the show says on Spotify and YouTube. And I was already wanting to do a podcast, and then I was like, boom, it clicked, and then here we are. So let's have a couple drinks, let's have some
Yeah,
fun, and talk skateboarding.
yeah. We'll play some drinking games or whatever, man.
I got a little mini beer pong thing. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. Like who can the
If it hits dead center, you nailed
camera?
it.
You got a jug, yeah, shotgun. Well,
So,
cool. I appreciate you, following me on Facebook and finding
yeah,
me on
man.
YouTube and shit, and that's cool. So,
Dude, you have more likes on your videos than I probably have on any post I've ever posted.
hey, I see it, and the phone vibrates and tells me daily, and it hasn't really sunk in completely, you know.
Right. Well, that's being humble. That's being humble.
Like it has and it hasn't. Like it has in the sense of like I take the responsibility to keep going, and I love it too.
Yeah, man.
I wouldn't, but it hasn't like fully sank in,
Right.
some videos get like 1,000 likes, and then some get way more, and some are less too. I know
Right.
social media's algorithms and all that.
Yeah, and there's a skill to it.
I don't know. I'm like, don't give me. I'm no scientist to any of this. So like, I just gotta post whatever the hell I want.
Yeah, there's a skill to it though, man. It's not like necessarily what you're posting sometimes. It's about when did you post it? Because a lot of people do that right before work. They do it right after work. They do it right before bed. So there's a skill to it. I'm
Yeah,
not that good at it yet.
I've like done like a little bit of research of when to do this, when to do that, but
Right.
it got to a point where I'm like, I'm just gonna post whatever the fuck I want.
Right. No, and it's hilarious,
you
man.
know,
Your commentary is
you
great.
know, and I'm not if it's on the list, I do it quick. I'm like, oh, I'll do it next week, or I'll post. I'm like, it'll be like 2 hours after my trip.
Right.
Like right after my shower from the trick at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like,
You
post
just got
that.
done. Yeah, you
You know,
just got done being sweaty. You're like,
yeah.
post.
Well, it's like almost like starting a trick. Now it's become a point where it's like, do the trick and post the trick. Like it's become one whole entire thing, like not
Right.
just capable, but okay, now I've documented it. Now, and I've been working on videos for a while, so like my editing skills got pretty damn quick. It went
Hell
from
yeah.
like taking 3 days to make a skate video to, depending on the video, an hour to a full day. Really, it could, if only because I'm extremely picky.
And there's a lot of material, right? I mean, we used to do it. I remember back when I was younger, we had I think it was what, like, I want to say it was like an 8mm with the small tape and the camera and all that. And it takes forever to get a bunch of good material. You got to weed through all of it, but you were really good at it.
Well, we live in a crazy time now where they've made it easy if you've done it enough.
Absolutely.
Video. There's no more pointing your camera at the TV while hitting play on the CD player, so you have music over your skate video, but lines in your skate video because you're pointing the camera at the TV,
right?
And just the ghetto-ness, like
yeah.
Now it's in my hand. Every video you see, Alan, it's right from my iPhone.
It's insane.
Like, I don't even have a cover on my phone.
That's dangerous skateboarding, Sam.
Like sometimes it overheats. I'm like, shit, I should get a cover.
Well, what's crazy is like now, like you said, in the palm of your hand, you can make it slow-mo, you can add the music, you can do the commentary over it.
Hell yeah, like all those things I used to think about before the phone, skateboarding at 17 years old.
Right, like what if?
Yeah, I'm like, 40 years old. Well, this isn't really starting until like really 40.
It's crazy.
Like and then like, I can do this on my phone.
That was going to be one of my questions too, is like, when did this all start? When was the idea that, hey, I want to do this. I want to give something to the skateboard community and help bring people together, because that's what I see happening.
Well, that's been since day one.
Right.
I've had a natural
affinity for it,
like friends in a group of skaters. But the social media started with this Tony Hawk contest. So like Tony Hawk.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So, I actually posted a video about it today because I figured I'd talk about it, because like, how did this really, because I'm the last person that should be getting any views and like, well, I'm just saying, like, I didn't work for it. Like, I've never been like really sponsored. I've had like little flow things here and there, kind of, but nothing really serious. So for me to get a video that has views of over 5 million, it's kind of weird, right? But it started with this Tony Hawk contest. It's my 40th birthday, and we're sitting by the pool. My wife's right in front of me, and I'm looking at it, and I see it, and I tell her about the contest, and she's doing it, I don't know. I don't do shit like that, Alan. Like I'm not. Yeah. I don't really put myself out. Like I was making videos and posting them and doing stuff, but not like that. But I'm like, I'm kind of spiritual. I'm kind of like, it's a sign. It's my 40th birthday, and obviously proves to be true.
Yeah.
Proves to be. I guess it was, but that's kind of I was like, okay, I'll sign up. So I signed up for the contest, and that's kind of what turned my videos from just documenting it for myself. Like I'm not even like hashtagging or in any 30 or over groups or anything. Literally, I wouldn't even actually post skateboarding on Facebook. I told myself Facebook's like family only.
Right. That's what I used to do.
And then just YouTube. And, in some of the videos get like 100 views. And I'm like, sick. I did like one video that got like to 1,000 views on YouTube. And I'm like, damn.
That's pretty good.
I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy. And then, so I didn't last in the contest too long as far as like the Tony Hawk contest. But it triggered that posting videos, because like the contest was about getting votes and like social media and stuff. So that's how I joined the group, dude. Like that's why I joined groups. I didn't do any social media before. I was just like, I just skated. I just didn't do any of that.
Yeah, it's a passion.
I didn't know there was groups. I'm like, how am I gonna get votes? Like, my family don't give a fuck, you know. Like, they're not gonna, they're not gonna download all this shit to vote for me, other than my parents and, and my kids, like no one else. So
Yeah, it is weird getting into the media world at our age. I'm 41, so like it's weird
hey,
getting into the media age.
What's your birthday?
11/23/82.
What is that?
November 23rd. Yeah, it's like
Okay.
Thanksgiving once every 7 years.
I don't get it.
Well, no. So Thanksgiving falls on a Thursday, so like it alternates. So yeah, once every 7 years, I had an excuse to leave family gatherings because I had a concert to go to.
So what kind of music?
That concert in particular was a band called Fragile Porcelain Mice. They were a local St. Louis band. That's where I grew up. And yeah, St. Louis. I mean, I had the best of both worlds, to be honest. I lived across from cornfields, so which is why my skateboarding was obviously limited. I had a giant basketball court. We'd put ramps on and stuff. But then I was also 30 minutes south of there, so I got to drive. Once my friends were 16, I'm 14. We were going up. We were skating downtown. We'd go to concerts, so it was super cool. I got a taste of the city life without having to be in the hustle and bustle.
You ever
so that was pretty
anywhere?
Cool. Definitely. Oh, that I actually had this story I wanted to tell about that. I know we're jumping around here, but it's flowing.
I'll get back to it. It's funny to talk about.
So this time, there's this place called Keener Plaza, and it's beautiful. It's like stairs all the way around it, crazy ledges. In the winter, there was no water, but there was some fountains you had to dodge, like in the summer. And this one time, the cops, they would routinely come around, kick us all out. I mean, it's a beautiful place. You could see the arch, City Hall right there. And I was probably, I couldn't even drive. I was like 14. And I innocent little kid, I walked up to the cop. I'm like, what's the big deal? We're not doing anything. And he's like, you see that? And he points at the handrail. He's like, they've painted it 3 times this month. And I'm like, oh.
Oh my God.
So we were vandals.
Yeah, I was going to do a back lip down it, but I guess I won't now, Yeah. You tell your friends I was gonna, do a kickflip back.
Yeah, I promise I would have landed it, bro.
Yeah, the handrail. That's what I came for, officer. The handrail, definitely.
Yeah. But so as far as the music goes, it was kind of cool growing up in St. Louis. Any big band at some point is going to go through that town or that city. We had a great venue, a couple great venues. And I just grew up with music. My parents were awesome. I was going to concerts at 12 years old, even if they had to drive me, so it was a lot of music in my life.
Yeah. Concerts too, but they were lame growing up.
Where did you grow up?
Oh my God. I was everywhere. So I was born in Des Moines, Iowa.
Okay. Midwest-ish.
Okay, but moved to near Chicago, Illinois.
All right.
That. And then my dad's job was sales. So it moved,
okay.
And then from there, I think it was Boston area, Massachusetts, a couple areas around there. And then New Jersey. And then eventually Washington, which was high school time.
DC or state?
Washington State. So
okay.
It's near Seattle, Tacoma.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's when I first got a taste of skate parks.
Okay.
So everything before that, was driveway.
Yeah.
Or a plaza. Whatever I could find.
Bank flat bakes, little curb ledges,
handicap ramps, and
because
if you watch my that's where I learned how to ollie, because I didn't have transition. I was forced to, do flat ground tricks in the driveway.
Dude, you've got some pop. You alley high.
Where I came from, honestly. And anybody that skateboards is that's what I tell them. You just got to you got to do it a lot.
Yeah.
It's not, there are people that can naturally progress faster than others, but not
like Nija.
I'm not. I wasn't. The only thing that came natural was the, learning to put the work in. Yeah. I'm not going to give up. That's not my personality. If I'm going to start a trick, I'm going to end it either with tears or yes, fuck yeah, I landed. You know, like, and that's what I'm going for. You know, or just like, oh, I'm so sore for 3 days. We're trying this trick.
And you still progress. Like I see you land new tricks.
I'm not progressing, Alan.
No?
No.
You're relearning?
Yeah. There's nothing you see now I haven't done before. I promise. It was just never,
I feel that.
You know, like it wasn't documented. And there was a period like I won't say I didn't skate, but I was living life, man. You know.
Yeah.
Car business. You know, if you know anything about the car business or have any friends in the car business, I'm sure they go to your bar. If they don't, whatever, they would tell you.
Yeah.
The hours are crazy.
Yeah.
The people are crazy. You know, like it takes a lot out of you. You know. So.
Actually, so one of my regulars at my bar, one of the 3 people who kind of helped inspire this podcast, which I'm hoping to like set up the whole thing with the 3 amigos there. But no, one of them is Steve Moore. He's actually the Moore family that owns the Chevrolet and all the other dealerships in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's like a regular at my bar. Great guy. Like he's cool. Great to talk
car
to.
Guys are funny though, man. Don't get me wrong, man. They're the best.
Yeah.
They're the best stories, man. I don't want to talk about cars at all during this podcast, but but you know, I was obviously at Honda posting a bunch of videos there too, and
yeah.
But obviously the skateboarding one.
So you picked up the sales thing from your dad then?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Just
in your blood.
Talking, I guess. You know, I'm not the best at it, but it keeps going sometimes. Depends on if I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool though, man.
Yeah. Well, cheers here. I'm gonna grab a freshie. Can we take?
Freshie? Yeah. Take a little break. I can edit out bathroom breaks, anything.
Yeah. Can we do a 2-minute, like literally 2-minute break and come right?
Yeah, go ahead, dude. You're good. You're solid.
Okay. But we'll come right back, and then I'm gonna grab a cold one.
All right, sounds good, brother.
Do I pause it?
No, just let it run. I edit it out later.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're back.
Who doesn't know Tony Hawk?
Funny, I actually just watched one of his podcasts earlier to have a little inspiration for this.
Which one? Which one? Hawk versus Wolf.
Hawk vs. Wolf, and it was the Nyjah episode because I admire Nyjah. Like that dude at 10 years old winning the Tampa Am. Oh, let's bring it back to that, which you just got to go and meet some pros, and they recognized you from your post.
It was crazy, bro. Yeah, that I'm glad you brought that up because I was telling you earlier, like it hasn't really sunk in. Like people are actually watching me skateboard. It's almost like it's like playing a video game. I'm trying to score as many points as I can, you know.
Right.
But when I went to Tampa, yeah, I was recognized, not just by Andy Anderson is pretty much really the only one that really recognized me as far as professional skateboarder, but like people in the stands, people were stopping.
No shit.
You know, DJK Mel, shout out. You know, I met DJK Mel on and now we message each other and skateboard. And,
nice.
We found a relation that's like.
So you've gotten to this point in like 1 year.
I don't even know if it's been a year. Yeah. We'll call it a year, though. I think it's close enough, somewhere in there. Like from 300 followers to over 60,000 on Instagram, anyways.
No shit.
That's why I asked you about Instagram because that's a lot, because I don't know if you've seen it, but that's where it's happening.
I just started Instagram. And by the way, let's go ahead and do this so I don't forget later. If you want people to follow you, plug your social medias right now.
I don't know, Samwise Sorter Instagram. How many Samwises are there? So type in Samwise and my goofy ass and click the button, I guess. So if you want to see me try to land a tray flip after 30 tries.
You know what though? They were talking about that on a podcast I was listening to, and like the reality of it is it takes all day. Sometimes if it's a really new trick to somebody, it takes them all day.
All day is not enough. All day, all week, all month.
Right.
Like growing up skateboarding for me, there was no such, like just a backside 180. Like probably 14, 15 years old, trying to do just a backside 180. Just a 180 took.
Right.
And I could already kickflip. I could already kickflip, do 50-50s at this age, jump down some gaps. So it's just that simple turning your body and making the board stay to your feet and doing all that trick took me months, like to do consistently and be like, I can do this trick, backside. So like,
took you that long to put it in your bag?
Yeah, like to be like, this is it. Like if I posted a video recently, I think it was like 37 tricks. I was pretty proud of it. Like I'm like, damn. But it came from.
I saw that.
Yeah, it came from that. It came from like just relentless. It's practicing. It's muscle memory, man.
Yeah. So snowboarding, I feel like because I took some breaks, and I actually, like you, I took a lot of breaks. Life got in the way. Teenage life, between 16 and 27, I pretty much didn't even own a skateboard. Now I did have a snowboard. I didn't get a mountain bike until I was 31, which I'm. These guys are blowing me away. I can't do what they do. I still have my skateboard. You can probably see it right there. It's an Element. It's an Element with the Bob Rance grip tape. So I get on it a little bit. I had to get a new one because I wasn't motivated at all to get on it. Mm-hmm. But where's it going with that one? I feel like with snowboarding, it's attached to your feet.
Yeah.
So it's not that it's easier. It's that like not at all. I like going very fast, Like I love that. I love that rush. And like with snowboarding though, it's very similar to what you were saying about the persistence. Like if I was trying a new grab over a ramp that I had not hit yet, and it would take me forever. And with snowboarding, the ramps vary day to day. The sun could come out, it could be 40, and now the ramp it wasn't the same as yesterday. So I understand the persistence, even though it was attached to my feet. It's still every day you have to learn to adapt, which is very similar to street skating. Yeah. So with street skating, I feel like you have to learn to adapt to every little aspect of it. And I've noticed you're really good at it because you do the whole run up. You'll post it in your videos. You'll do the run up where you just stop before it just to feel the speed, and you'll look down, and then you'll do a pop over the edge, and then you'll purposely kick the board away just so you know how that drop feels.
Absolutely.
I mean, like
No,
you do it proper.
I get a lot of comments on it too, like just commit, you know. And I stress it too. I'm like, no,
Man,
there's a process.
There's a process, and that's like. Go ahead.
Like for others, there are skaters that can do it very quickly.
Right.
I'm your typical 41-year-old uncle. Like no, I gotta process my way up there. You know? And I don't want to risk an injury, at this age.
Right.
So I feel
that's where I'm at.
Feel it out, and feeling it out is just as fun as landing it.
Yeah, it gets you hyped.
Yeah, there you go. The hype is real, and whether there's friends there, whether it's just the camera pointing at me, whether there's no camera, it just doesn't matter. Just like that accomplishment, the hype is real. So just
man,
bail after bail, but then you start to inch your way closer to the land, and you do that one that comes close, and you're like, you can't, you run quickly back to try it again, and then you get it, and it's like I can't grow out of it, man.
Right. I feel like if you don't, you're doing it safe. I feel like if you don't use that process, like you said, you're going to get injured.
Could I do it first try?
You could, maybe.
Yes, I do believe in all my heart. Could I do it first try? If hey Sam, I'm going to give you $10,000 to do this first try.
You try it. Come on.
It'd probably be butter as fuck too.
Yeah.
Really, but that's just childish to think about.
Yeah. Well, and it's just
no.
It's almost.
I want to do it proper, and I want to build up the adrenaline to get there.
It's over ambitious to try and do it all the time, and irresponsible when you think of it. So whenever I was one of my first roommates, I lived in employee housing when I lived up in Keystone. And one of my roommates, luckily, and he kind of talked some sense into me, he was a snowboard instructor, and he was so cautious. This dude probably could have done twice the difficulty of tricks he was doing, but he's like, no, you can't do it like that. You have to, Daniel Timbrook, you're awesome. But yeah, like, he was so cautious, but he never got hurt.
Yeah. It's like half the comments are, how are your knees? How are your back? And I'm like,
40 years old.
I'm like, my knees are good. Okay. Shoulder hurts, but
so what did you go to the doctor for that one? I remember seeing it.
Just doctor stretch,
Yeah.
Stretch it out, and I don't want to hear what the doctor has to say. My fingers are
moving. Dude,
I'm
the same way. So I had I broke my collarbone. And you can almost see it. It's laid over itself and then refused. But I was riding, and I went to hit the side hit on my snowboard. And I came in crooked, and like my feet just shot straight out at like a 45-degree angle above my head. And instantly I'm like, I'm screwed. I'm like 6 feet in the air, and I tucked. Luckily I had a helmet on, or I would have been concussed. And I ended up falling all my weight on my shoulder after my head took some of it. And I was 4 ski lifts away from my car, and instantly I'm like, oh, that was bad. The pain just got worse and worse and worse. And I didn't want to call ski patrol. How embarrassing is that? So then I'm just like riding the ski lifts. My arm hanging sore.
When I fell on my shoulder recently, it was like, oh, I'm good.
You wouldn't believe you're good.
Pop, like I heard something pop. I'm nauseous.
Yeah, that's bad.
I tried to do this gap, and I fell on my shoulder. Like that's like I should have bailed more. Honestly, I didn't measure it out enough. My homies were there, and I'm like, let's go, let's commit. And after like 6 tries, I committed. It usually takes me a lot more than that, even if it's small.
Really?
Commit. Yeah. Even if it's small, I really measure it out a ton. Even if
so
it's there. Like, I'll measure it out. I won't even let it there first try. I'll
Yeah.
pop and kick it away. I'll pop and kick it away. But on that shoulder, I land on the shoulder, and oh god, like right away, I'm like, my stomach hurt.
I was gonna say it makes you nauseous.
Yeah, I felt something I shouldn't have felt before. Like, I didn't
That's not normal.
I don't want her to know. I'm good. Well, I can't even lift the arm, bro. Can't even. No, it's like dead.
Yeah.
Homies are there.
So, what's your worst injury?
That was one of them, actually, because I don't.
Is it really?
Yeah, I don't get too many injuries.
That's crazy. That's really good.
I get sore. I get bruised heels and feet from jumping off of shit. I get like knees rash. Elbow rashes just from
road rash.
But it's part of it. I get
absolutely.
I get palms, rocks in here sometimes. That's not lately too bad. But if I'm skating,
you get hematoma in your hand. If you don't see it,
I haven't broken really any bones too much. I've strained my ankles.
Really?
And yeah, I've just been kind of lucky. I've mastered the art of bailing, I guess.
Is it luck or is it your cautiousness?
This is my dryer, by the way.
I think it's not luck. I think it's that you're cautious.
I am. I'm a scaredy cat. Call it whatever you want to call it. I don't want. I'm extremely cautious. But then when it's time to commit, I feel better that I did all that. I don't want to commit.
So I think it's responsible and it's cautious and it's safe to go about it the way you've done. When I lived up in Keystone, obviously I was snowboarding 5 days a week, and we would have this thing whenever we see tourists that they snowboard once a week, and they just they huck it, dude. We're like, send it. We know they're gonna crash. We're like, dude, you're hitting a 20-foot ramp and you ride once or like 7 times a year at most on a snowboard. We're like, oh, this is gonna be terrible to watch.
Some people, I don't know, man.
They send it, bro.
Well, until you put your hand on the fire, you don't know how bad it burns. So,
absolutely.
With all the injuries I've had, not too bad, but I've had them. They're daily.
Yeah.
Anytime I skate, I'm gonna, every time a shinner, primo, fall on your ass, whatever. I'm gonna get hurt.
Oh, dude, my shins. I don't even think I have nerves left.
Yeah, I've got tattoos of fucking stars, and I got stitches over here from whatever.
Did you really? What happened?
Yeah, I forget what the stitches were from. Oh shit! Actually, the stitches were from gripping a board. I mean, it's from skateboarding technically. I got stitches right here from gripping a board once. I worked for Zoomies for 10 years. I deserved it though.
Really?
Yeah. I take a lot of pride in gripping a board. I can grip a skateboard very, very good.
That's cool, man.
No, I can't. I can do it blinded. And I remember this one time, family bought a skateboard, and I'm putting the grip tape on, and I'm being Samwise, which is loud and obnoxious. And I'm like, check out what I can do, And I'm like, watch how fast I can grip this board.
Oh no!
And I ended up
slicing.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, that is embarrassing as fuck.
See, that's not
even my employee, because I was the manager. Even my employee's like, yeah, he knows how to grip a board. He's a skateboarder. Not everybody that worked for Zoomies was an actual skateboarder. So,
of course,
my boss is actually skates. He does kickflips. After closing.
It's funny because whenever
boss is doing kickflips in the middle of the store.
You may have heard about this since you work for Zoomies, but all of the top selling managers for Zoomies, once a year, they actually go out to Keystone, Colorado. They pay for all the top sellers.
Earlier because I've been out there
okay
4 or 5 times. Yeah.
How'd you like snowboarding?
Yeah, I mean, I've snowboarded before, before all that, but it was because it was like an event, so we only had so much time we can snowboard.
I know. You guys get 2 full days.
From here to here, and then this is when lunch is, and this is dinner, and then we got to be at this event. So I didn't get a full experience of the mountain.
Yeah.
couple runs, and it was long. That's what I remember. It was like a long run. Enjoyed that. Like
It's
not
like 3.5 miles. I know what run you're talking
I don't
about.
know anything. I'm just like going on the airplane, going here again. Oh hey, free snowboard. Like trying because that's not my snowboard. I didn't bring shit. I'm just trying a 32 10 that with the LibTech this or whatever. And I'm like okay.
Yeah.
And then I just
Yeah,
kept
that sounds like a
running,
rental board.
and I'm like, damn, this run is forever, and this is sick.
It
That's what
is really long.
I think I did it twice, and I was like, damn, that was like 2.5 hours. I only got like 2 runs, but I'm like, I like that. I appreciate that. I don't like the chairlift.
You know like heights?
Well, I fucking hate that shit. Like, yeah, we're just gonna sit on this log, on this mountain with this cable,
20 feet in the air at times.
I'd rather drop into a vert ramp, like than sit on one of those goddamn chairs. Like I just hate the only thing I hate about snowboarding is the chair lifts and then getting off, off the fuck is someone's gonna kick you in the shins or some bullshit. I might take shins off. 1 foot off the snowboard is just goofy to me.
It's
like,
awkward and it feels like you're gonna twist your knee.
It's like tying your shoes together and trying to walk.
It is. Like your knee twists. It wants to go sideways.
Yeah, I'm like trying to carve. I'm like, oh yeah, my foot's not in there.
Yeah.
So my board goes like this, and my one
Yep.
fucking ball.
And then you fall on ass.
10 seconds later, I'm mobbing 100 miles an hour.
If it makes you feel any better, I had learned to snowboard. I grew up on 2.5 acres, mostly hill, and I learned to snowboard in Missouri at that time when I was, 90s. It was snowing a lot. So I learned to snowboard on my own property. I had to hike back up every time. First time I went to the ski resort that used to be open in Missouri, I go down the bunny slope and I'm like, oh, so where's the bunny slope? This guy I ran into from high school is like, that was it. I'm like, oh, he's like, no, we got to go up the hill. So I get on the ski lift. He's on skis, which they have the poles. They can maneuver better. Right. I'm like kicking sideways. Didn't even know what the hell I was doing. He's like, go, go, go. He told me to go when there was already two. What is it?
Are you on skis or a snowboard?
I was on a snowboard. This guy was on skis.
Okay.
So he tells me to go up. So he's on skis. So he's able to jump out of the way. But it turned out there was already people waiting for the chair in front of us. So my first experience getting on a ski lift was I realized I was in trouble. There was already people in front of me. The ski lift knocks me over. I get trapped underneath it. And this dude's laughing at me. I'm like, you're an asshole. You're the one who told me to do it.
Oh, my God.
So, you know what? I'm sure, whatever embarrassment you had, you're fine. We saw it all the time in the mountains.
Oh, my God. No, that happened to my brother once. Like, he got on the chairlift, and we're not experienced, but we've gone, we don't fuck up on the chairlift too often or ever.
Right.
And his snowboard got, like, stuck on a ice rock or something where he just, like,
eats it.
Right, like, whoop, boom, like, straight, like, bam, and I'm like, oh, shit, and I, like, jump off the fucking, I'm pretty young, I'm, like, 13 or 14, so I'm like, my brother, so I jump off the chairlift, which I'm already, like, 10 feet in the air, because it, like, happens, how a chairlift can go, whoop, real quick, I'm like, I got, like, 1 second to think, I'm like, because I just see him go fast, and I'm like, did he die? So I'm like, I jump off, and then actually I got in trouble. They're like, you can't jump off the lift. And I'm like, dude, I thought my brother died. And I jumped where there's like orange fence or whatever. Like, you can't.
Yep.
You're not already allowed to be in this, and you jumped off the chairlift with, you idiot. You're
like, bro. I would have been like, bro, I didn't do a grab on my way down. I bailed.
My brother's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I thought you died, bro. You weirdly, like, flopped so quickly because the ground took you and the chairlift is still going. So it's like, anyways. I didn't think I was snowboarding, though, huh?
No, it's fun. It's fun. I enjoyed it. I'm
like 2 dudes from Florida talking about snowboarding.
Dude, whenever I talk to people, my guests at my bar, they'll be like, "You snowboard? Where?" And I'm like, "Well, I used to snowboard."
Well, it's just something I had to like say goodbye to, from
Yeah,
moving from Washington to, not that I went
yeah,
often, but it was, it's still there. I did it a few times. It was
for
when I
sure.
was way younger. Did it a lot.
Now, were you already skateboarding before you snowboarded?
Oh yeah, I've been skateboarding since 10 years old.
Okay,
Yeah, I was like mentally skateboarding before that.
right.
Yeah, like it was always
Yeah,
like,
because we were about 10 years old when the X Games launched. We would have been 11 or 12, I think.
I do remember that like the X Games is on at 3:30.
Oh, yeah. I had the poster.
And then you had to wait for it too.
Yeah.
Like, okay, rock climbing. Okay, what's this next event? Okay, now skateboarding. Like
Yeah.
4 minutes. That was the best 4 minutes ever.
Right. I used to tell people, I'm like, look, X Games are my Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was back then. I didn't watch a lot of TV, but I remember like the X Games. This is it right here.
Yeah. It was so cool.
Yeah, I love skateboard competitions too. That's pretty much what I watch now.
Yeah.
Everybody has their like YouTube thing they go to, and mine's like skateboard competitions pretty much.
Dude, I'll watch anything on Red Bull TV, and they've gotten real broad. They even have breakdancing on it. But I'm telling you, like Red Bull TV, there's an app on like Roku and things like that. It's so sick. Like they have the most current stuff on there.
They had some like this downhill contest. It's not downhill, but it was like a street contest, but like in a plaza that had consistent downhill. I forgot what the name
was. It street? Was it like the popsicle board or was it longboard?
No, just a regular skateboard, and it was like
All right.
Ryan Sheckler.
Okay.
Yeah, like pros, like Ryan Sheckler and all Nyjah. I don't know if Nyjah was there, but maybe he was there. But Ryan DeCenzo, all these super pros.
Yeah.
It was a cool concept what Red Bull did. It was like a contest that was like they built ramps in a street plaza, but it was like a run. You had to like start from the beginning,
Like a downhill.
like a downhill, but like there was a rail, a handrail, all this crazy stuff. Yeah,
I kind of wonder if that was inspired by San Francisco street skating.
it's got to be because it feels like that. Because these guys would have to like slow down,
Right. Like super steep.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I went to San Francisco once, and I was actually, so like I said, I picked the board back up at 27, and then me and my three of my friends, we went on a road trip across the country, 11 states in like 9 days. It was insane. We took turns sleeping in the car and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember getting to San Francisco. I think I even had a skateboard with me, and I'm like, oh, hell no. That is so steep. It's insane. I couldn't imagine being a San Francisco skateboarder.
No, and me neither.
It's so crazy.
No, that's not my bag of tea, man. Like,
Could you imagine the air you would pop off of because it goes steep and then it goes flat where there's a street intersecting and then it goes steep again. Could you imagine popping off that flat?
Well, and what that cement's made out of, like it's I can't imagine, the cracks alone. I'm like, nope.
Yeah, because the salt, it breaks the concrete.
Yeah. So yeah, cheers to the downhill skaters. I mean,
and to the longboarders, in my opinion, because in retrospect, if I would have known what an injury, like a true boarding injury, felt like, I don't think I would have ever bombed hills as fast as I used to.
No.
There's no way, bro.
No.
It's crazy falling at that speed.
Yeah, I don't see that's not in my book. Like I want to keep going.
Yeah. So you do mostly.
I want to be able to skate. I want to skate tomorrow.
You want to skate tomorrow, or at least in 2 weeks.
Let me get a fresh yell. So that's fun.
That's why That's why I send out messages, and I apologize to everybody all the time for it. My good thoughts come when I'm at home smoking and drinking, and I usually don't get home from work till 10 or 10:30, and so then that's when I'm starting to reach out to people and talk to them and Yeah, but most people they're like, oh, that's just Alan.
Well, I made, it was like after a night of drinking with my wife or whatever, and she fell asleep, but I'm still going. And I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna grab a bunch of random footage and make a video. I'm almost blacked out at this point, like I don't even remember making the video.
Yeah.
And I decided to sing like this Tony Hawk song over it, right? I'm like, I'm Tony Hawk. I can skate like Tony Hawk,
I
and
might remember that one.
yeah, so I did this, right? It was like 2 a.m. Like it was after like she's already in bed. I'm like, I got 2 more drinks in me. I'm still feeling good. And I told you earlier, I got the editing skills to a point where it's kind of just like I think it's something I kind of put together real quick. Doesn't take as
Second
long.
nature.
Yeah, like I've really obviously because I was really drunk when I put that video together, and I tagged. I'm kind of shy about that stuff. I'm really not like tag everybody, reach out. I mean, like I'm really kind of shy, but I tagged him because I had a couple drinks, and it was kind of cool because he liked the video. Like it, on Instagram. I'm like, holy
I
shit.
know, that's crazy.
I'm like, Tony Hawk saw this shit. I'm like, oh my, like Tony
It's
Hawk.
cool.
I'm like, I want to be like Tony Hawk.
No, dude. And honestly, you hide it. You hide it well, and my fiance tells me I hide it well too, because I have social anxiety, and like when I was 19, my first to beat my social anxiety, I got a job as a server, and now I'm a bartender. Like, and I tell her all the time, I'm like, yeah, I was anxious. She's like, I can't tell, like we just people like us, we get good at hiding that shit.
Yeah, I think it helps to make it better.
Mm-hmm.
Having some awareness.
Yeah.
What embarrassing means.
Yeah.
If you're not embarrassed, like if you don't know what that means, then that's probably maybe not the best.
If you've never been embarrassed, you're not even improving.
Right, or feeling it or whatever.
Right. I'm not gonna lie. I might during the editing, some of these commentaries in between, they might have to go on like an extended version or something because this shit's too good.
No, man, we're warmed up. I don't know what you're talking. Like I said, I've got about 12 of them. So
I don't got that long in me, but I do have a few more things to go over. Let's dive right in and welcome back.
Okay.
So we talked about the evolution of skating, and it's interesting because I'm more of a vert skater. I've probably landed a kickflip 5 times in my life. I don't understand why my feet won't do it. I don't know if it's that I'm only 5'8" and my feet are too big for my body, but there's some reason why I can't do a kickflip. I've landed heel flips at one short period of time. Do you think it helps you learning it at such a young age?
Yeah. Absolutely. Like it just depends who you are, I think, especially kickflip. I don't know. Like, yeah, I guess. I can't. It's hard for me to even teach a kickflip because it's like becomes so second nature.
It's instinct.
The way I become humble to somebody learning a kickflip is when I try to do a switch kick.
Really?
Yeah, because I can't do it. Like if you.
For the non-skateboarding listeners, that means you are. Correct me if I'm wrong. Your flip
with your left hand.
Your flip foot. Your flip foot rather is your left foot at that point. Oh, I'm goofy. Hold up.
Yeah, just doing it backwards, just like anything.
Yeah.
Try riding with your left hand as good as you can with your right.
Right.
This is difficult. So, like, that's how I get humble to anybody learning a kickflip. Like, if I try to do a switch kickflip, it just reminds me, like, it's hard. It's hard. But the cool thing is, like, once you unlock it, it's yours. And it
push yourself.
So, like, if you've landed 5, you didn't fully unlock it. You got there, and you're like, yay, like I got it, and nothing personal to you, Alan.
No, I admit I suck at flip tricks.
But like for me, like once I got it, I'm like, it felt so good I couldn't stop.
I bet.
Like I remember being the kid in the garage, You know, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. My parents are upstairs, and I'm bang, 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 bang. You know, kickflip, pop, shove it, kickflip, pop, shove it. You know, kickflip,
Yeah.
kickflip. I'm gonna land 10 in a row. You know, like,
Now, see, I got the pop shove it and the reverse pop in my bag, but the heel was only there for probably 1 year, and then I lost it.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. So I ended up.
You'll flip.
All right, I'll admit why I probably never got it. I was an inline skater for years.
Okay, here we go.
Ah, fruit booter.
Well, you're lucky you're talking to me, so I don't hate. You know, like I'm not hating.
You know, growing up near cornfields, I think that it was just more accessible. I didn't need as much to do tricks, and I got good at that.
So I'm not like hating. You know, I got pictures of me doing little like, you know, boot grabs down a 2-stair. So like,
all right,
because it's like I was too I was like ignorant to what was going on. I don't like this whole. Like,
yeah, I didn't care about the
you
squall.
know what I mean? Like there wasn't this like need to belong to anything.
Yeah, me either.
I mean, it eventually happened with the skateboard, you know, but
Right.
This is the funnest to me. But I put on rollerblades. I've put on roller skates. I've put on, you know, I've used an old school skateboard, the new school. Oh, I don't give a fuck. I'll try to kick with anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think what happened is because I couldn't do kick flips, it was just skateboarding was fun. I loved the fact that I could be wearing my shoes that I'm wearing anywhere, pull my board out and do it. And that's why I even hung on to it. With inline skating, for me, it was more like, dude, I can just send it over 10 stairs and do a 360 sideways. And like, it just, I don't know, it felt better because I got better at it quicker. I wish I would have learned all the skate tricks I never learned, but it just didn't happen.
Rollerblades on at that young age. Can't do a 360 on a skateboard.
Right, but you could on that.
You know, like,
let's face it, it's a little easier. It is.
You know, obviously, you know, it's attached to your feet. The wheels are right under you, and you know, but it just became that this, you know, for like at least me, I always just thought the skateboard had a better arc.
It feels better standing sideways for some weird reason. Mm-hmm. It just does. Yeah, I love that. Like, I'm a snowboarder, not a skier, right? Which is weird, but like, you know, it's that sideways orientation. It just felt better.
That and the like, it's not attached to my feet, so like.
Yeah, you can bail.
Well, you know, like, how do you keep it to your feet like that, Sam?
It's like magic.
Well, kind of. You know, if you think about it, like there's.
It looks like it.
Yeah, I mean, just the ollie itself is so technical. You know,
it is
compared to somebody jumping in rollerblades. You know,
yeah.
Like, you know, you can be really athletic and jump as high as you want on rollerblades. You take those rollerblades off, you step on a skateboard. You know, most likely you're not going to. You know,
it's a whole different set of physics. So I'll bring this back to something else I want to talk about, which is how I got back into skateboarding, and I'll cross this bridge. But I want to ask you: do you have a skateboarding saved your life story? Or how did it transform you in a drastic way, even?
I mean, skateboarding has had so many lessons in life. You know, like, I don't know about saved my life because it's just been such a part of me that it's like I don't know anything outside of it. So how do I compare it?
Well, therefore, to you, it's like breathing, right?
Yeah, it's like I don't know how to compare it to anything else. You know, one thing it's taught me is like things aren't forgiving.
Right,
man. I really want to land it. There's no such thing as that.
No.
You can't pay for it. Like there's no dollar
Absolutely.
amount. You know, you can be as rich as you want, but motherfucker, you ain't kickflipping.
Right? Not without putting in the time.
You can't buy it. There's no super duper coach that can teach you in one day.
Nope.
It's gonna come right here, buddy. You know, and that's what skateboarding does for me. It takes me outside of this whole world.
Yeah. And the focus too. You can't think about your daily troubles.
Will make me unfocused. It's crazy.
But then you get that practice blocking it out, right?
It's hard to block anything out. Like the littlest things will tweak you out of like a trick. You know, like a car driving by and the noise it makes.
Right.
So I've been making skateboarding videos at night, doing this flat ground crap or whatever.
Oh yeah, I've seen some. They're great.
Just a simple car driving by will throw my game off.
Really?
Yeah, it's that much focus sometimes. You know, that much like. How can I take? Because skateboarding, like I don't know. I've thought about asking social media, what do you think the number is? But how much of it is a mind game versus how much of it is a physical game? And like
you should do it. You know, take a poll.
Like for real, like the mind game. Like okay, I'm gonna say I've had a few drinks, so I don't know. I'm not thinking too clear, but I'd say probably like 70-30.
Hey, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, cheers. And I'm just getting started, but yeah, cheers. Like 70% of it's such a mind game. You know, it's not so much as like put your foot here, put your foot there, and jump here and jump there, and you'll get it. That shit, that's not even realistic.
Right.
You know, like there's nobody that can watch a skateboard how to do skateboarding and then be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do what the video told me to do, and
not without putting in the work.
Months, years, right?
Years.
I taught my wife how to kickflip for years.
She's probably better than me.
Oh, probably better than most.
That's awesome.
Actually, like it's right there, but it's just like it's very humbling. You know, like every time I watch her, I try to do a switch kickflip too to like bring it back. But it's like I'm not the best coach, I'm not the best teacher because I've got my kickflip so consistent where it's like such a second nature. I can't teach you. Like it'll be like I'm almost rude if I do. Because I'm going just do this, and like, there's no such thing as just do this, you know. You can't just do this. Like,
it's the same thing for me. Was
go in your garage, get your skateboard,
and do it.
Tell yourself to do a pop shove it if you haven't done it, and do not go inside. Do not take any drinks of water. Do nothing until you get the pop shove it, and then you will be so much more humble to like the process. And giving, like for me, when I watch professional skateboarders do the shit they do, dude, my heart's like,
yeah.
You know, like, how brave are you?
It takes a skate, like you have to actually skateboard to even appreciate it. Like, however, it's become a spectator sport, but you have to be a skateboarder to truly appreciate the difficulty of every little variation people do.
It's crazy. It's not attached to your feet. We just said that, you know, so it's like, the flick, the timing, the math. You know, I just did a video of me doing a 360 flip, you know, and it's like I it's almost like I really want to be more detailed about it because it's like, yeah, I'm flicking it perfect and my foot's not, but you don't understand how perfect it has to be
to get it squared up, all the bolts.
Really commit, like look at the one I landed. Like, if I just did not post all those bails, you would be like, oh, that was first try, bro.
Right.
You know, like, that was cool as hell. That was like, oh, he obviously does that. You have no idea that took 50 freaking tries.
Yeah.
And three feeling sorry for myself. You know, like, I'm going to give up. I can't do it.
Right.
And then, look at, you know, like, then the push, you know, like, but I can't this far. You know? So, you know, like, there's that mental mind game, you know.
Yeah. Have you seen that that drop that Sheckler does? I'm pretty sure it's in California, but he drops off like a little awning.
Yeah, the the bank.
Dude, and he literally had to come back 2 years. Was it 2 years later after his injury from falling on it, and he finally landed it? That's perseverance.
It's so insane, and like Sheckler's one of my favorites. You know, Sheckler is definitely one of my favorites, and that kickflip he does into that bank is so mind blowing,
insane.
Like,
and people that don't skate will not understand how scary that would be.
Like, it makes me happy to be alive and to
you
know, like it takes you like outside of being a human being for a second and going, like the possibilities are for this person may not be for my possibilities, but you know, me landing that tray flip and him doing that, we share a feeling. Even though
Yeah.
my tray flip's 2 feet off the ground.
But it took you hard work.
If you look in that video at the very end, I go like this. Oh. Like there's this like
Yeah.
oh, right? And I can't that's the whole video to me. You know, like
That moment of glory.
every attempt was for that like half second of me going after I landed. Like
Yep.
you know, because like you got like you don't like I'm not talking out loud, but I'm going every attempt. I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. You know, like there's like this like give up. Like there's like this literally like this guy on my shoulder and this guy saying, "Don't give up, Sam," and this guy's saying, "Dude, you're wasting your time."
The voice that says, you can't do this, and the other voice that says, don't be a little bitch.
It's literally, and I've been dealing with that for 31 years.
Yeah.
As far as skateboarding, there's always been this, like, 2 people on my shoulder. You're gonna land it. You're not gonna land it. And it, you know, they both win equally.
And that could be more distracting than the car driving by.
Oh God, but yeah, and when the car drives by, they both fade away, and I forget what I'm doing, and I'm back in reality. You know, I'm like, oh, I'm in this parking lot, and I'm just some weird guy trying to kickflip over this garbage can right now, and people are driving around me and shit. You know.
Cheers to weirdness.
Yeah, so like that's what happens, and I'm like, I'm so unfocused. You know, car drives by, or like a guy on a bike, like, or it just the weirdest shit. They used to distract me, like just distracts me so much. Like I was at the skate park recently, and I've been working on my tray flips, and a mom drops off her kid, you know, and I'm already hyped because the skate park's by myself. So one kid shows up, I'm like, shh. And it's hot, and there's only one shaded area, you know, to like kind of skate, and that's where I'm filming. So I'm trying this tray flip, and I'm already like at a point where I'm like, fuck, I'm not landing it. So I'm at that like heated moment where I'm trying to land it, but I'm like swearing. I'm by myself, you know, but I'm like I'm gonna get this. I'm like, I'm having the 2 guys fighting on my shoulder right now. You're gonna get this. Give up. You're gonna get this. Give up. You know, like you're tired. You're breathing heavy. But you landed it. It was sloppy. You know, it's a fight. And then the kid shows up, and he like sits within like 3 feet of where I'm landing. You know, he's in my eyesight. He's sitting on the picnic table like it's a kicker. So here, it's a kicker. Right here, I'm trying to tray flip off the kicker. Here's the picnic table. He just sits on the picnic table. And if he was like, hey, Sam, what's up? Or like, oh, you almost got it. It wouldn't bother me. But he puts his headphones on and he does this. And I'm like landing right in front of him. Like I'm trying the trick and I'm like, all right, man, go skate or move.
Right. You like, saw me skating here, bro.
I can't bail right in front of you. Like you're 2 feet in front, and I'm like, oh, you know. And like one time, my board almost hits his ankle, you know, and he just looks up, and I just grab my board, and I kind of like roll my eyes a little bit, like, come on, buddy.
Like, you know what I'm trying to do, man. Why are you sitting there?
I'm so close. And I didn't land it. I gave up.
It's that pressure, man. Hey, sometimes you gotta know. You gotta know sometimes.
I probably got one less follower now. So I'm like, oh, that did it.
Ah, or he's gonna be like, that was me.
I'm like, listen, I'm only filming because what's going on. I was a dickhead before the cameras were rolling. Like,
I mean, look, if he's never been through that situation with somebody else at a skate park when he was trying to land something, then he will be one day.
I don't know what. Like I just the weirdest shit distracts me. That's the moral of the story.
It always does, though, man.
My face, bro.
Right. You're where I want to land.
Like you're 3 or 4 feet away from where I'm like awkwardly landing this tray flip I'm swimming at, you know, like
yeah.
It encouraged me to post my post today on Facebook. It was like, be a good person, be aware of your surroundings, which was related to what we were talking about. Be related to, or be aware of your surroundings, and then it was be yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what's great. It's about the culture, right? So let me ask you that. Like, how do you think without skateboarding, how do you think you would have ended up from a culturally inspired aspect? It's hard to say, right?
I don't know. Me not skateboarding is silly. I don't know.
There's no universe, right, that exists.
It doesn't. I mean, I'm just a goofball, so I guess I'm goofball register guy.
Yeah, I feel that. And
I don't know. I don't know.
I hope.
I feel like, like I've got some family background and stuff like that, and I feel pretty proud of where I'm at. And
Well, that's just being an adult. I mean, you're doing your thing.
yeah,
But
and like I'm pretty proud of how far I've come. Like I
yeah,
put
man.
myself in a position where I can post videos
Yeah.
and do all these things. Like I'm not struggling by any means, so it's like it's great. It's great.
So, what do you think about the future of skateboarding in the sense that we did not get to grow up with all these skate parks? And now, and I know this because even when I was young, one of the first ones was the Tony Hawk Foundation. Look, I'm Tony Hawk. No, I'm kidding. But no, one of them was the one of them was the one of the parks I used to ride was from his foundation, and they were very simple. Honestly, some of my favorite parks. I love metal ramps. Like I don't like falling on my bad hip anymore. I love metal ramps. So like I grew, he built like a park that was all metal ramps, maybe even two of them in the county in Missouri I'm from. How do you feel like this is going to go? Like we have kids doing crazy stuff. They get to grow up with skate parks, like several in every county, seemingly across the country. Like,
I mean, that's just one branch of skateboarding.
yeah.
Like, that's what's cool about skateboarding. It's branched off in so many directions that's just one branch, and I'm so proud of that branch. As far as the competitiveness, and as far as like the limits of how far a skateboard can go. Like
man.
It's blown my mind at 10 years old, and it's still blowing my mind to the, when somebody did a 50-50 down a 10-stair handrail, it blew my mind then. How do they get up on that rail? It's like waist height,
Right.
How do they balance on that thing? And now it's this feeling. So like that's what skate. So like over all these years, it's really given that same feeling. So like it's gonna keep progressing. It's just gonna get to a point, but like it's also gotten to a point where skateboarding has said, I'm more than just being competitive, you guys.
Yeah. Style, technique,
your story, like it's just branched off into so many different ways where like a guy like me can make a difference in the skateboarding community. Like I don't want to say it didn't exist in the 90s, but I mean,
it's not as accessible back then.
It was your VH1 tapes.
Yes.
Like it was that VHS. VH1.
VHS, yeah. VH1. Wait, we had that too. That doesn't exist anymore.
That was your media, and that's what you knew about skateboarding.
Yeah.
A guy like me that puts out some skateboarding videos can make a difference in the community. Somebody said it in one of the comments earlier. They're like, Samwise, we like your videos because we can relate so much.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Relate to the passion, that love you have for it, being the age you are, being the kids you had, the jobs you've had, and yet you're still doing it. I love that I've like kind of taken that role.
Yeah. I love it too, man. I love you. I love your passion project. It's such a passion project, and sometimes passion projects evolve into getting 1,000 likes.
1,000, 10,000. I mean, like
that's insane, dude.
So here, I'll look it up. Let me tell you about it.
Yeah, let's see. Let's hear this.
So here, it's absolutely insane. I I post this video, and me and my wife are on our way for a skateboarding day, and I'm like, hey, let's go to this one spot real quick. It's on my way to work. I just want to ollie this gap. I ollie the gap. I bail a few times, and I landed like fifth or sixth try. Not the hardest thing in the world, but I'm also like a little rusty, a little overweight from the car business, you know. So like it looks like Uncle Rico trying to ollie this gap. But
We're not as flexible as we used to be.
You could clearly tell in the video. But the one I landed looked pretty dope. Like it just, you know, I've been skateboarding for so long, it came back, you know, like quickly. But the first few tries, like, oh shit, this guy's gonna die, you know.
Yeah,
but,
well, dude, but when you land it, you can tell that like it's programmed into your brain. You know exactly what you're doing.
I was ready to commit, you know. Just I did a couple bails. I'm ready to commit.
Yep.
It wasn't the hardest try. I kickflipped the same damn gap like months later, but so I ollie the gap, and then the next day I'm on my way to work, and I pull over, and I'm like, I want to do this gap, and that's how I put that video together. Well, I post that video, and it now has 5.5 million views. Okay, that's insane. You know, like it has. Let me turn it down. It has 40,000 shares. So like,
did I lose
40, you? 40,000.
Screen froze.
Like
5.5 million.
Yeah, 5.5 million views, 294,000 likes.
Holy shit.
Yeah, 294,000
likes.
That's
insane.
And just shy of 8,000 comments. Okay, so
that's
I
crazy.
click the comment section, right? You've got Thrasher Magazine, who said skate and destroyed, right? It's got 22,000 likes.
Hell yeah.
So Thrasher Magazine left a comment. They actually sent me a care package after seeing the video.
I was just gonna say, I had two more points I definitely wanted to cover before this is over.
That's even like so.
I want to cover.
Let me go through this list of people that lit that, and I'm like,
yeah. You
know, like I'm not.
Let's do that.
I have no friends whatsoever in the skateboard industry, like none, zero, like no, you know. So like, okay, so I wake up and I see Thrasher Magazine, DGK, John Hill, Santa Cruz Skateboards, and it's Colin McKay, Creature Skateboards, it just keeps going, like,
dude, and that's what I'm saying is
it's like and if you like go to this video and
they appreciate what you're doing for this community.
It was crazy. Like my phone overnight was just like one after the other. It was just a little ollie off ledge. So yeah, that like I went from like followers to like 50,000 followers in just like a few days. Like insane.
That's insane.
You know, so like I post a video now.
So I wanted to talk to you about, before we go, what all, like, I know you've been getting sent products. Like, what all companies have sent you stuff?
So Thrasher sent me that care package, and I got a bunch of cool shit in there. I got sponsored by Sneakercrete. So Sneakercrete is like a shoe repair, and I mean, honestly, every skater should get it, whether I'm sponsored by them or not. Like, just going through laces alone is like the most annoying thing ever. Like you can tell a skateboarder, you look at their shoe, right, and their laces are all tied up and you know, but
and the flip hole.
Like I put that stuff on my shoe, and it went through the shoe before it went through the laces and everything else. Like amazing. So
wow.
And then Shitting on them is actually my buddy's clothing company, and we've got
represent.
We got some stuff under DL Works right now, but so setting up with him, and he's got actually just made a deal with Zoomies and got some of his stuff in Zoomies, so I'm proud to be on Shitting on him. That's right.
Hell yeah, man.
The way I'm saying it.
No, it's great. It's great. I actually didn't know how to pronounce it. Whenever I first saw it, whenever you posted that video, I had to look at it a few times. I'm like, wait, oh, I get it.
Oh, when he reached out,
I
he's
love
like,
it.
"I want to
That's
sponsor
awesome.
you." I didn't know how to say it, so I like did a voice call, and I'm like, "Okay, here's all my attempts of saying it." And he messaged back. He's
That's
like,
awesome.
"Bro, no, it's shitting on him, shitting on the competition, Sam. Come on." I'm like, all right. So yeah, so I'm hyped, and we work together at Zoomies and stuff like that, so we got some history.
That's
So
cool, man.
yeah. But other than that,
So
nothing new, man. Like
no,
it's
that's
just
awesome. So I wanna close out.
okay.
I'm gonna revisit something I said that, what's your skateboarding saved my life story, and honestly, sounds like you stuck to it more than me. It pretty much shaped who you are, and like you said, there's no other universe that exists that you never skateboarded.
Yeah.
For me, I took a hiatus, and at 27, I was living a lifestyle that was kind of self-destructive. And when I gave up that lifestyle, I was like, well, I need something exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And because of skateboarding, I was able to kick that old lifestyle, and I picked up skateboarding again at 27. And people like you can be the inspiration to save people's lives. And that's awesome, man.
I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah,
Well,
I get messages all the time, man. Like I'm inspired to start skateboarding again. And and I got every time I really appreciate it every time I hear it.
yeah.
That's my fuel. That is definitely my fuel to keep going. And like I've been doing it at a young age. Even anybody sees me skateboarding, like, hey, what are you doing, man? I'm like, oh, I got an old board. You want to try?
Yeah, man.
So now it's on a
Well,
bigger level. It's on a bigger level. Like it went from just teaching the kids around the neighborhood how to skate to, all these older guys watching my videos, like getting hyped and now tagging me in their videos and Sam, watch my kickflip, bro. I'm like, it
dude,
makes me happy, bro.
I will speak for all of the skateboard community. We appreciate you. I thank you for doing this with me. It's been fun. It's been
Yeah,
fun,
man.
brother.
Appreciate it. Cheers. Glad we got.
Cheers.
Sorry to all the listeners if none of it makes sense.
Only to the people who don't skateboard. But you know what? I think that we might have bridged the gap a little. I think we're good.
That's true. That's true. Well, I encourage them to go skate then.
Absolutely, man.
Yes. Cool.
Cheers,
right,
man. Been fun.
Well, peace out and reach out whenever you want, Alan.
Absolutely.
All right, brother. Have a good night.
Thanks.